and we'll try to get to as many of them as possible, but like I said earlier, we do have a meeting this evening, so we're going to have to conduct our meeting at some point. But we certainly want to address some of the questions that you have, so feel free to take an index card and write down your questions.
One more thing to understand, or please understand, that if there are questions that the perception would be it's definitely premature to be able to answer that question, or it's not appropriate at this time. Understand if we can't provide a substantive answer for you at this time. Obviously, the Commission's intent is to be very open to the community, but we want to make sure that we walk before we run.
So sort of officially, we are turning over our report to the three commissioners for their review, and once it's approved, there will be a process in place to share it with the community that the commission can talk about.
Right. That was the other part of the commitment that the commission had, that we would reveal the findings of the audit, and what we're hoping to do is to put it on the town's website so that you'll have the opportunity to review it at your leisure if you wish to do so. So it's going to be on the town's website, so we're going to make sure that's done. And I think we're going to have to, I'll have to entertain a motion with regard to the report, to accept the report.
I move we accept the final draft of the audit of the police department, presented here, dated November 15, 2011, PSSG.
And I'll second that motion. Any discussion with regard to that motion? Okay. We'll call for a vote on the motion. All those in favor of accepting the audit report from Public Safety Strategies Group dated November 15, 2011, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. If people have cards that they're willing to hand in, I'll
One of the reasons why we have the attorney for the commission here is so that he can review any of the questions. So again, the process is to ensure that rights of individual employees are not infringed upon in a public meeting. So we ask for the advice of counsel. But one of the questions is this the first time that the report has been shown in public? Yes, it is.
Can you speak up a little?
Yes, the question was, is this the first time that the report has been shown in public? Yes, it is. We did give a briefing to department members, as I said. No one from the department was handed a copy of the report. The second part is it available in paper or electronic format? It will be available in electronic format. As Commissioner Shara pointed out, they're accepting the draft of the report. They have to review it in its entirety. We don't change our findings and recommendations, but if there's something in there that is incorrect, if we have a date wrong or a number wrong, the Commission needs the opportunity to review that, and any corrections such as that would be noted in an addendum and a footnote, because we don't want a wrong number out there, and the only way that we can get that information back is if we have the chance to review the draft. The question here is the audit is from 2006 forward, and the personnel turnover goes back to 10 years. How do both apply? Hopefully I can answer this in the way that you're framing your question. We sent information to employees that have left in the past 10 years. When we look at data and we look at the size and scope of this the process, we had to look at data from 2006 to 2010. We had to look at budgets from 2006 to 2010. But there was information that people provided us that went back to 1999. So there wasn't a limited scope of information that people could share with us. But when we do a study, we have to put some parameters on what we're looking at. It was a big investment from the Commission, but we also have to allocate the resources to a certain time period. The question is, did you evaluate the effectiveness of the Police Commission and whether it supports or detracts from the police department's effectiveness? If you remember back to one of the things that we talked about with the chain of command, we did address that in the report, that as of right now, there are people that do circumvent the chain of command and go directly to the Commission, and that is not healthy for the organization, and so we did note that in the report. So that's an example of feedback that we gave the Commission. The question is, you mentioned in the report that a great deal of storage space is required for paper document storage retention. Do we recommend electronic scanning of documentation to digitize documents to lessen the storage requirements? So there has been a process of scanning documents that has gone on here. but there's also specific pieces of law enforcement paperwork that they have to maintain the paper files in, so it becomes a little bit redundant. I can't recall if we said it specifically in the report. Again, we can't list every little piece of it, but one of the things that we realize is that scanning right now is resource dependent for the resources that the department doesn't have. And if they have to store some of the originals anyhow, that right now it's not the most effective way for the department with the retention cycle that they need to adhere to for various laws and regulations that are put on the PD. There were some other questions, they were personnel related, and we cannot answer them.
Are there any other folks here that, since Kim has been speaking, that have thought of questions they have and that would like to get a card and write their questions down? Is there anyone here? If you would, raise your hand, and I'll be glad to give you a card. No?
Well, I'd like to thank the commission, the department, and members of the community for their participation in this study along the way. I know many of you have sat through meetings with us as interviewees. You've come to meetings when we've done briefings, shared lots of information with us. And we tried to take in lots of information that people gave, distilled it down to categories that could help the organization move forward for the future. And we certainly thank you for your participation and hope that you're there to support the movement of the commission and the organization in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to take a 10-minute break.
Well, the police commission went down this road, and these members came in and said they needed an audit to engage what's going on. I think that this audit has shown that they have now a baseline to move forward, and I was very impressed with it. Also, I've seen a transition with the command staff, even looking at it and basically being proactive and moving forward. So I think it's a good baseline for us to work with. And I was very impressed with the PSSG as well as the police commission in the handling of this. It's excellent.
Mm-hmm. How would you say this reflects on the leadership of the former chief records?
I wouldn't say anything. What I would say is that this is the baseline for moving forward. It's what this community needed, and it's an honest piece of information placed before us. I think really going forward, we just need, like they said, we need to support this, the police commission. We need to support the staff here and the patrol officers, and we need to provide the resources when we can. It's a tight budget, but we need to just support them 100%.
And the excess of supply, is that a concern?
That issue's been addressed over the years, but I think once again, the police commission stepped forward and said, let's do the analysis. And they placed it before us and said it does exist. I think the fact that, like I said, it's brought forward to the people, it exists. I think we just need to support them in their endeavor, and let's evolve this department and support our officers.
All right, great job. We're just going to get a quick shot of you and I talking here. Now, in terms of council's perspective, are you any council?
No, there's quite a few councils here today.
I'm sure everybody's kind of eager to see what this would show. I mean, is it surprising to you at all what you saw there, or is it something you kind of had an understanding?
No, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I think over the years a lot of this stuff has come out, but I think what it is that it shows how proactive the police commission is. The leadership of Joanne McHugh, Clark Rowley, and Ken Shearer. And I think it just shows how they want to fix things and move it forward. Like I said, they picked a great company to do this, and I'm very impressed. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.